Last week, Nosara was hit hard by flooding, and volunteers are working hard to help. This episode is an explanation of what happened and some various ways of people can be of service if you want to help. So, Mariju, it's been an eventful week in Nosara. Lots of floods and everything going on. Walk us through what's going on, please.
Sure. It's a different November because usually this happens like in October, and this October was like pretty nice in general. And it was really unexpected because last Tuesday, it wasn't raining at all. It was in the morning, and then the Nosara River and like all those rivers in Nosara town area started getting crazy. Like everything got flooded. People were not prepared at all, and tons and tons of families lost literally everything. So yeah, it's pretty bad there, and like all the different neighborhoods that are really close to the river. Here in Guiones and Plata, everything's good. The biggest problem and the biggest impact was in Nosara town. So everything started this past Tuesday, and as you said, like last October was really nice. It was like not that rainy as like other years, and most of the people were not prepared because it wasn't raining. Like everything started in the morning, and by like, I don't know, 11 a.m. to noon, the river started like growing and everything started floating, and people didn't even know because it wasn't raining. So you don't expect that. People didn't prepare, didn't put their stuff away, and it was really bad. By that night, it was just crazy. Like the airport was covered, like the fence was completely covered by water. It was just really, really, really bad. So that night on Tuesday, we opened up the shelter, which is the Bull Rodeo in Nosara town, which is, I mean, that's what we have. And imagine all those people that lost everything to be there. The good thing, it was like pretty organized. Like this had happened other years, but this year was worse because people were not prepared. It was during the day, it wasn't raining. And then we had like 150 families at the shelter the first night. Some of them lost everything. Their houses were completely washed away. There's nothing left. For others, everything got like muddy and like wet. So they lost all their fridges, their stoves, and the mattresses. Everything's just like a mess. So there's like different categories of like what they lost, or like of people. Some of them, it was just like some water. Some of them, like everything completely gone. There is different ways of helping. If you're in town right now, what we're doing at the shelter, we only have like 4 families left. So what we're doing is going to help at all the different neighborhoods that got really affected, especially like Hollywood and all those areas, to clean, because everything's just a mess, like super crazy muddy. So like we're sending volunteers to these different areas. Then also bringing donations. They need, you name it, food, clothes, anything's gonna help because they lost everything. And then if you're not in town, there's different ways of helping, different accounts where you can send money, and everything's really organized. Like it's really cool to see how the town got together to help everybody. Even people from San Jose are getting organized and like putting different drop-off places for donations, and they're gonna bring them here. It was pretty intense few days, and now it's just working on what's left and helping these people.
You know, what a week. So I'll try to see if I can recap it real quick. So it sounds like people just weren't planning on this to happen this year. It did. At the Redondo, at the rodeo, at the fiesta place that people might recognize, that's where everyone kind of got together. And to this moment, volunteers are going there to get assignments as far as where to go, who needs it the most. And there's needs all the way from new houses altogether down to just help clean it up a little bit. And it's all over the place. If town, physical volunteering is fantastic. If you're not in town, make a financial donation to one of the many places that are accepting money. Thank you so much for being so involved, doing what you're doing. We'll try to get the word out there. Is there anything else that you want to get out there for people to know about?
I just want to thank you for spreading the word, and for people that don't know, it was like pretty bad. So if you can make a donation or somehow send some help, that would be really, really good, because this is our town, and it's really sad to see these people like that.
Thanks so much. Well, that's what we'll try to do, and talk to you soon.
Thank you, Rich.
Andrew, I know a ton of stuff's going on right now. A lot of floods, tough situations where people need completely new houses in some cases. Can you fill us in on what you're focusing on and what you're seeing on the ground?
Yeah, so basically the flooding that we're seeing right now is atypical. It's not your yearly flood at the river type scenario. I've been here for 16 years. I've never seen it. The people who've lived here longer are saying they haven't seen anything like this in 40 years. So as project managers, we are trying to focus on teaming up with volunteer groups who are coming in from out of town. We are raising money through our clients, locally, non-local. We also are happy to take volunteers who are local here on the ground and want to help. And we also are happy to try to work with some of the local construction companies, as I know the volunteer groups are going to need some light machinery and tools. And that's something that we want to partner with them on to try to bring that. We've got some immediate cases of people who lost the roof over their head. So we're trying to do what we can to get those projects started as soon as possible.
So people could donate right now. We'll put some instructions on the screen that'll be flipping through as people are watching this. Is there any particular organization, or are there lots of people involved in this right now trying to help?
There are a lot of organizations. I think people are donating everywhere. I know that certain people have favorite places to donate. As far as what we're doing, that we do need funds, because it's going to be an ongoing operation. It's a professionally managed escrow fund that was donated by a law firm in San Jose, so they're going to manage all of the accounting on it, so no one has to worry with allocation of where things go, and we're going to be fully accountable and show people where their money goes as we go through the process. It may not be fast in all cases. We've got some immediate now cases, and then we're going to continue reaching out and finding other cases that are damaged. I'm sure we're going to be finding people for weeks to come, and we're going to do what we can with all the funds that we get.
Well, hey, I want to thank you and everybody else who's getting involved. I know when you're especially doing the Mercy Home stuff, sometimes a couple of volunteers means the world to you. Sometimes a piece of equipment from a builder or a contractor mean the world. And just thank you for getting inside of it and doing, well, everything you guys are doing, and good luck.
Thank you. And if anybody comes down, if anybody knows and if they're coming down, reach out to us. I know that it's been slow to get people down, but if people are coming down for visits, we may still have a good bit of this still going on. We'll see. But if anybody coming down for the Thanksgiving holiday or anything wants to volunteer and come to some of these sites, we're happy to have them.
Right on. Thanks so much.
All right, guys.
Jose, thanks so much for hopping onto this episode and helping us out. The first question is, can you help us out with an explanation of the funding of what's going on for some of the Nosara projects that you're aware of? And then the second question is, for volunteers or anybody who might want to come down, what are the travel requirements coming into Costa Rica?
Rich, yeah, thanks for asking about the donations. I know that it's a big concern to orchestrate and receive the donations, and especially make it through a legitimate source. So what we did through Gilstock, which is a regulated escrow company, which is regulated by banking authorities and especially by SUHEF, is we set up a sub-escrow account through which we're gonna channel the funds that they will use towards buying construction materials and especially, for volunteer works of the people that are going to be rebuilding some of the homes that were destroyed by the storm. So yes, we have already set up the account. It became operational yesterday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the wire instructions so that you can post them, and people can do that. And obviously what Andrew and Brian are going to do is we're going to have a list of every donor. Obviously, we're going to have a very detailed account statement of what came in and exactly, and obviously, more important, what came out and precisely for what. And my understanding is that Andrew and Brian are coordinating with a lot of other people that are donating their time, work, and or money, that they're gonna send out a very detailed bulletin, or newsletter of pictures of what they're doing, how they spent the money, and and basically give them a report on how they use the funds. From our end, what we're doing is we are obviously keeping the funds separated, and all the funds are only going to be released upon authorization or request from those two people, which are Brian and Andrew, which are the ones that are leading the effort. Also, and as to the question of who can come to Costa Rica at this moment, well, basically we opened up completely on November the 1st. So basically all nationalities can come in as long as they fulfill their entry and visa requirements. Also, the PCR test that was a requirement to come into Costa Rica is no longer a requirement. So basically we have two main requirements at this moment. One is that the tourist that is coming in needs to have an insurance policy, for travel expenses that will basically cover their expenses in Costa Rica. Very important that needs to cover COVID. Basically, the authorities are asking for a $50,000 policy insurance coverage. And the second requirement is to fill out a form that is available online, which I can also send you the link so that you can post it, on social media, which needs to be filled prior to coming into the country. Okay, so short answer is anybody can come in starting November the 1st, as long as all entry and visa requirements are fulfilled.
Very helpful, Jose. Thank you very, very much, sir.
My pleasure.